And I know together with us, you look forward to an exciting session today. So to start off, I'll request that we all stand up for the Kenya National Anthem and the East African Anthem.
Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tulilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike, umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu. Uzalendo pia mshikamano viwe msingi wa umoja wetu, na tulinde uhuru na amani, mila zetu na desturi zetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tulilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike, umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu. Viwandani na hata mashambani, tufanye kazi sote kwa makini, tujitoe kwa hali na mali, tulijenge jumuiya bora. Jumuiya yetu sote tulilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike, umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu.
Thank you very much to the media team and even for you for standing up. Can I ask a volunteer who can pray for us before we start this day? Okay, in that case, I volunteer myself. So let us pray. Thank you, God, for this day, for bringing us together. Guide us, give us wisdom, and help us have a successful day and the things that we have intended to do. In Jesus' name we pray. Thank you very much. And to start us off, we have our country director, Ms. Bridget Okumu, to give us a welcome address. Karibu sana, Bridget.
Good morning. Good morning. That's better. Mr. Collins, the Agriculture Secretary, State Department for Agriculture. Ms. Evelyn Maris, the Deputy Head of Mission and Head of Cooperation, Embassy of Ireland. The representative of the Governor of Nyandarua, the CEC, Honorable Francis. CEOs and country directors present here. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning again. And also those joining us online, good morning. It's my great pleasure to welcome you to the Potato Capacity Building Project closeout meeting. Allow me to convey our greetings from our President and CEO who would have loved to be here, but due to other commitments, he was not able to make it. First and foremost, I'd like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed partners, starting with our donor, the Embassy of Ireland in Kenya, for funding this project, the County Government of Nyandarua, IPM Potato Group, the National Potato Council of Kenya, Kenya Agricultural Research and Livestock Organization, Kenya Plant Health Inspectorate Services, KEFIS, International Center of Insect Psychology and Ecology, ICIPE, International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, IITA, Viazi Soko, Sereni Fries, and the dedicated team of IFDC who have worked tirelessly to make this project a success. Allow me to recognize some of the program leads who have managed this program during the different phases under the direction of our Market Systems Director, Ms. Veril Adele. So colleagues, those who are here, would like to appreciate you. Starting with Patrick Foro. Please stand up. Oh, he's outside? Okay. Josephat Musau, has he come? Not yet. Eric Kataka. All right. I think they will come in between. Jocelyn Nyaga. Please stand up, Jocelyn. Thank you very much. So your wavering support and commitment have been instrumental in achieving the remarkable outcomes that we celebrate today. Today marks a significant milestone for the potato farmers, showcasing our journey of enhancing food security and improving the livelihood of smallholder farmers in Kenya. IFDC, with funding from the Embassy of Ireland in Kenya, implemented the PCB project in Nyandarua County between 2018 and 2025. The project is one of IFDC's signature projects in Kenya. It addresses the 4 pillars in our strategy: developing new technologies and innovations that improve soil health and plant nutrition, catalyzing farm productivity and profitability, strengthening market systems to scale technologies, and enable impact by improving policies. Our other programs in Kenya include the Africa Fertilizer for Statistics and Data, the 2-Scale project towards sustainable agribusiness clusters through entrepreneurship and learning, Ukama Ustawi, and Sustain Africa. And of course, the continental and national efforts that IFDC, together with other partners, are leading for the implementation of the Africa Fertilizer and Soil Health Summit Action Plan. Feel free to interact with the IFDC team who are here so that you can understand more about some of our projects. I would just like to elaborate how our expertise was showcased in the PCB project. Developing innovative solutions for improving soil health and catalyzing productivity. In this particular strategy, IFDC was able to develop and implement innovative solutions that address the unique needs of farmers. In the PCB project, we introduced soil fertility management techniques, efficient fertilizer use practices, and smart climate-smart agriculture. These innovations have not only increased potato productivity, but also promoted environmental sustainability. In the area of capacity building, and this is one of the cornerstones of our strategy, through this project we have trained farmers, lead farmers, even the county officers, equipping them with knowledge and skills. For collaborative partnerships, the success of this project would not have been possible without the partnerships of the different organizations that I've acknowledged earlier. Through these collaborations, we have leveraged resources and shared expertise and amplified the efforts of the impact of our efforts. In the area of strengthening market systems, we have worked with off-takers to integrate produce to profitable markets, and the project has developed an input and output market linkage platform via the Soko for Potatoes, currently hosted by the National Potato Council of Kenya. In the area of enabling impact through policy, our team, together with partners, have been able to review the seed certification and variety release process, the Crops 2019 Regulations Act, and supported the registration of 3 new varieties into the Kenya catalogue. Ladies and gentlemen, over the past few years, the PCB project has made great strides in the potato sector in Nyandarua County. This project has not only boosted yields, but has empowered farmers with knowledge and resources to sustain their livelihoods. As we reflect on our achievements and what we have left behind in Nyandarua and for the potato value chain, the empowered smallholders, the lead farmers, the county officers, the Ware Potato Store at PCB Cooperative, the partnerships and the linkages, the county agricultural strategy, the clean seed accessibility and crops regulation implementation roadmap, and the 3 new varieties that have been registered, Java, Maverick, and Buffalo. We acknowledge the lessons we have learned. These experiences have strengthened our resolve to continue working towards a brighter future for Kenya's potato value chain. Today, we are not only closing the PCB project, we are laying the foundation for future initiatives that will build on the successes of the PCB project. You're welcome to partner with IFDC to scale out this model and the implementation of the roadmaps, and most importantly, the commercialization of the Ware Potato Store at PCB Cooperative in Daragwa sub-county in Nyandarua. In conclusion, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for your invaluable contributions. Together, we have demonstrated the power of partnerships. Let us work together to create a prosperous and resilient potato value chain in Kenya. Thank you. May God bless you.
Thank you very much to our country director for that speech. And maybe I suggest we give another round of clapping for our managers. And I think Patrick Faro is now in. Please stand up. There is the gentleman who was the first manager of this project. And we really appreciate the work that you have done, among the others. We now welcome Ms. Evelyn Maris, Deputy Head of Mission and Head of Cooperation for the Irish Embassy in Kenya.
Habari asubuhi. Good morning, everyone. I am just 6 months in Nairobi, so if anybody was willing to give me some Kiswahili lessons, please allow me to stand on existing protocol. Firstly, I just want to start by saying a huge thank you to the IFDC team. In my few moments of being able to network in the morning, I had incredible opportunities to meet with some of the partners, the county government and the national government. And the real sense that I got from this project was that of partnership. So many projects run awry when they don't include all of the relevant stakeholders. And what we can see here by the representation in the room is that this project is a shining example of how partnerships would work. And I really want to acknowledge all of the work of IFDC and their leadership team and of the national and county governments and all of the partners and the farmers that were engaged in this. You know, Ireland has a very strong history with potatoes. For any of you, and I know there's a few of you that have visited Ireland, it is a staple part of our diet. And we adopted it in the 18th century because potatoes grew quite well in our climate. But unfortunately, in the 1800s, we had a huge famine in Ireland and we lost over 1 million people. And what that means for us as an Irish people is that we have a huge affinity with famine, with food insecurity, and with nutrition. And so our foreign development policy has a very strong focus on food. And so it has been a real privilege for us to be able to work with IFDC and the partners over the last 6 years on this project. Our international development policy, A Better World, recognises that agriculture and food systems are central to sustainable future. And it commits to adopting a sustainable food systems approach, building on Ireland's strong record in reaching the poorest, tackling hunger, addressing malnutrition and fostering sustainable livelihoods. We recognise the vital role that the potato sector plays in Kenya's food security as the second most important food crop and the potential it has to address challenges related to poverty and climate change. However, in recent years, we know we've seen a worrying reversal in the progress on food and nutrition security, with an increasing number of people experiencing food insecurity, hunger and malnutrition. In response to this, Ireland has stepped up its own international collaboration on efforts to ensure that food and nutrition security for millions of people, including those across the global south. We also recognise the importance of gender equality, and I'm particularly interested in seeing the panel discussion and also the video later on about this project, because I know it's made a real effort to include women and women farmers as well in the project, and that leans into our gender transformative approach. From this project alone, we know that poor quality seeds have gone from 60% to 21%, and that's a significant achievement of the programme, and we particularly commend the women farmers who've played a critical role in success. However, we also know that access to high quality and certified seed remains a significant challenge and something that we all need to continue to work on to ensure sustainable seed supply chains. This project is also a testimony to what can be achieved through effective partnerships. So it's not just about the statistics, it's about the real people and real change. And at the heart of this are the thousands of smallhold farmers, many of whom are women who have embraced this project and worked tirelessly to improve their livelihoods. We've witnessed potato productivity more than double from 1.7 to 4.5 metric tonnes per hectare, and we know that this directly translates into increased incomes and livelihoods for these families. We know that the market information system is another key achievement of the project, with over 1,100 farmers now empowered to receive real-time pricing data, which gives them a stronger voice in the market. I also want to acknowledge the invaluable contributions of the national research institutions, many of which we have partnership with, including Calvo and Kefis. Their expertise and support has been essential to the project's success, particularly in the areas of seed development and quality control. We deeply appreciate their partnership, and their work contributes to a stronger policy and institutional environment for food system strengthening. This project is a shining example of what can be achieved through partnership and innovation and a shared vision for a prosperous agricultural sector in Kenya. I commend IFDC for their outstanding work in implementing this project, and I extend my sincere thanks to the governments, to local farmers, especially the many women smallholder farmers who are true heroes of the story, and the Calvo and Kefas and all the other partners and stakeholders who are here today. The Embassy of Ireland is deeply grateful for this partnership and look forward to continuing our support in the agricultural development in Kenya. Asante sana.
Another round of applause for the Embassy of Ireland for funding the PBC project. Thank you very much. And now we've heard from IFDC, we've heard from the donor. Now time to invite the Nyandarua County Government. Honorable Francis Moringo would love to hear from you.
Thank you. The Agricultural Secretary, Bwana Collins, the Deputy Head of Missions, Embassy of Ireland in Kenya, the CEO, IFDC, all invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. Good morning. This morning I want to start by bringing in the greetings of my governor, His Excellency Dr. Moses Kiari Badrisha, who was not able to be in this meeting today, and also his apologies for not being able to make it, but he is 100% in support of this. And as I go through what this program has been able to achieve in our county, it is good that we appreciate that he is part of it. So this morning I want to say that as a county, we have been the biggest beneficiary of the generosity of the team from IFDC and in extension the Embassy of Ireland. We are grateful for the work that has been done. As a county, potato is key for both our food and for our income, the income of our people. So it is a critical part of what we do. One singer sang the other day that cash crop yetu ni mawaru. Ukweli, the truth is that potato is critical. And we are grateful that we have had a partner in IFDC and all the other partners in support of this value chain. And I want to give a few remarks about it. That through the program, Potato Capacity Building program, we have had various interventions across the whole value chain. And I will be highlighting this through farmer field business schools have participated in, they have actually been capacity built through this program, because it is true that historically Nyandarua has been a big producer of potatoes, but it is critical. It was necessary that our farmers start looking at growing potatoes not as another activity, but for purposes of growing it as a business. And that has really impacted on how our farmers have been empowered. So I want to read a few things that have been achieved through this program. So the potato value chain capacity building project has been working to address these factors through the farmer field business schools model. The model strength stems from the integration of various components that improve farming knowledge, skills, and practices, especially for women. The FFBS model, as we call it, promotes sustainable agricultural practices, market engagement, gender and youth equality, food and nutritional security, group empowerment, and monitoring and evaluation. That is the whole picture of FFBS. These components also improve results across the food and nutritional security spectrum. Through the FFBS model, farmers participating in the PCB project have been trained to maximize productivity on their farms by adopting new technologies that are more efficient and sustainable. The model uses a hands-on approach to instill practical knowledge and skills in farmers on improved farming practices, from land preparation through harvesting and post-harvest handling. Some other practices taught in the FFBS include soil testing, spacing during planting, certified seeds, correct use of agrochemicals, good record keeping, weeding, and all that. So it is a holistic approach to production, and that is actually a very key component in improving production and productivity in our farms. So that has really been a positive approach. The PCB targets was to improve the livelihoods of over 6,500 small-scale farmers and families through the adoption of these new technologies that include the use of certified potato seeds and new varieties, good agricultural practices, improved farm management skills, and market access. In 2019, the project contributed to the regulation of the potato sales in Kenya through the 2019 crop regulation. 2019 crop Irish potato regulation, which requires weighing of all produce and limits the size of the potato bag to about 50 kgs. And that is actually a very key milestone. Although this has not been 100% effective, everybody at the back of their minds knows that potatoes are supposed to be sold in kilograms, not in the size of a bag, which has been very unfair to our farmers. And I am glad that this has actually been picked afresh. I know NPCK is actually pushing that together with the CARO. They are actually reviving this so that our farmers get what rightfully belongs to them by buying potatoes weighed in kilograms. I want to just mention some of the key activities that have happened over the years that we have had good partnership with the IFDC. In 2024, IFDC supported Nyandarua County to develop a comprehensive county agricultural communication strategy to strengthen communication systems within the sector. That is actually a very good tool. Farmer will have their potato ready. Their neighbors and the other neighbors, all of them will have the potatoes ready. And that actually leads to a crash in the prices because you have, suddenly you have oversupply. The supply, what looks like an oversupply is actually very short-lived. And then again, we come to a place of, deficiency. So a cold store facility like this helps to break that cycle. You can hold your potatoes for 2 or 3 weeks, or even 1 month, and you are able to have your prices maintained. So for me, this is a very good intervention. It is going to support our farmers to. In 2022, through adoption of new improved technologies in potato production, over 2,900 farmers have seen a 60% increase in their productivity. And over 122 farmers were facilitated to attend exposure visits such as peer-to-peer learning at the national, African, and even world potato conferences in Nairobi, Malawi, and Ireland. And there was exchange sessions with several processors. Full benefit of potato farming as a business by linking them to markets or to buyers. Again, in the same year, the program facilitated the delivery of up to 250 metric tons of potatoes worth nearly $50,000 to processing markets through contract farming. The same year, the program helped to reach 1,929 farmers directly and another 2,255 indirectly through field days. In the same year, over 1,900 smallholder farmers were trained on proper feeding of infants, integration of kitchen gardens practices, and food diversion strategies. And again, in the same year, the program helped to mobilize over $300,000 US dollars in 2021 from the public and private sector for farmer support in Kenya. So indeed, our county has been a key beneficiary in this program. In 2020, the program reached 1,558 farmers using Farmer Field Business Schools training model, and it trained 3,827 farmers directly and over 6,000 others indirectly. And in the same year, that is in 2020, it availed over 100 metric tons of certified potato seeds and 350 metric tons of clean seed multiplied by farmers using the acquired skills. That means the farmers who have benefited from the program were able to help others to benefit. And in 2019, the project took lead in identifying challenges in the late blight management and rallied behind our partners to address the issue. One of our biggest challenge in the county is that being at very high altitude, blight is a serious challenge. And the environment is very good for such diseases, but it is also good for potato growing. So the two becomes, difficult to manage, and we were supported as a county through this program to identify some of the ways to address these challenges, and we are grateful. And another issue is that one farmers were contracted to supply potatoes to two buyers. The project linked the buyers to the Agri-Wallet, a mobile-based financing platform. So these are just a few highlights of how the farmers of Nyandarua County have benefited. And if you were present in 2019, around 2018, when the program was starting, and you visit now, there are many, many clear differences. Our farmers are doing things better than they were doing then, and we are grateful that this has been made possible through this program. Of course, farming is actually like a moving target. When you thought you have had it now all well done, tomorrow you find a new challenge. And we would be grateful as a county to continue getting support. We would be grateful to continue getting more support from the Embassy of Ireland and other partners. There is a new approach that Caro is providing in the development of seed potato through what is called apical cuttings, which is much faster, and it is promising to quickly turn around the ability of farmers getting new clean seeds. So I think there's vast opportunity to continue supporting our farmers to get better results with potato farming. Otherwise, we are so grateful, and thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Francis. Another round of applause, please, for Francis. Kenyans, we love eating meat. And usually some of us like something called chamsha. Chamsha is boiled meat. And sometimes you say, when you're giving instructions, say, please put a few potatoes. And that means different things when you're in Nyandarua, because a few for them, thanks to their success in farming, can be more than a few for other places. So congratulations for the good work you're doing in feeding the rest of us. Please accept that on behalf of the people of Nyandarua. I'm informed Eric Ataka is here. He was not here when we were appreciating the former managers of the program. Eric, please stand up. Another round of applause for him. Thank you very much, Eric. We are going to try and recover some of the time we lost at the beginning before the end of the program. It's now my privilege and my honor to invite Mr. Collins Marangu, the Agricultural Secretary in the State Department of Agriculture, to give us his remarks. Karibu sana, Collins. We look forward to hearing from you.
Asante. Habari zenu. Evelyn, habari yako? I can see you are a good student. Let me say that I'm very, very happy to be here this morning to celebrate, because to me this is a celebration, because for those of us who know this journey of this potato, and where our farmers were 15 years ago, they will agree with me that what we are doing today is a celebration. So thanks so much, Evelyn, for agreeing to support us, and also the county government of Nyandarua for agreeing to be our guinea pig. They could have refused, dear, and that could have meant something else. I also want to recognize all our development partners present here today, our CEO, Okumo, and others who are present in this room. I appreciate all of you. We know there are other guests invited today to be with us as we celebrate. So it is really an honor to celebrate this initiative by International Fertilizer Development Center. Me, I knew them when I was in farm inputs, when I was handling fertilizer, and I knew them from the other side. But what they are doing here, again, we celebrate this initiative. And also, as I had said earlier, Ireland government, I know their main cash crop. I was in their country last week, and I know potato is something they really value so much, and I wish we could get all those technologies I saw there on the potato. So, ladies and gentlemen, this project, the PCB, that is Potato Capacity Building Project, has made remarkable strides in strengthening Kenyan potato sector through adoption of Farmers Field Business School. For some of us who are older than me, we know Farmers Field School, but that was just a school. This one is what? Farmers. What is the difference? That was just a school you are learning how to grow. But this one is farmers, it has some business in it. So they are learning how to do what? To produce, not just for eating, but to do what? Business with what they are doing. So thanks so much for reading that. And also bringing to us some new varieties of potatoes. Through this initiative, Java, Maverick, and Buffalo has been provided to our farmers, and through these, farmers have better options. Francis, apart from this, which other name do you have there? Yeah, because I think the most potato growing areas, they only know of what? But now what we are saying is that with these new varieties, We have now what? More option to choose from. And through this initiative, the challenge our farmers have been having to assess quality, disease-free seeds, I think you are moving closer to that. But more so, development of Viazi Soko platform. I don't know how many people in this room have interacted with that platform. Ni wangapi? If you have interacted with it. So you are the minority. This is when I was told about it, I tried to see how it operates. But this is really exposing the farmers on how to really negotiate for their product. It is not just producing and taking it when you think you have it. And this can only be possible by incorporating the storage facility along the way. Because Francis, the CEC Nyandaru, when was making his remark, he said that most of the farmers do what we call rain-fed agriculture. What that means, we will all harvest at the same time and will be struggling for a market which has got limited customers. So what will happen? Demand and the supply. And you know what that means is that when we are taking too much to the market, the customers are very happy because they will tell you, today we are not even in buying. What that means is that because you don't want to throw away your potatoes, you tell them, I can even offer it at a quarter the price of the previous market. And that is not what we want. We want a situation whereby our farmers get value for the produce they are taking to the market. So through the provision of the cold storage facilities, that this one has now added value to the potato. You see, market is very dynamic. If you're really taking your produce to a market by 1 week, it can have all the difference when it comes to what? To the price. And from my side, I really appreciate this. And also, you also supported you contributed towards policy review of some of this potato thing. Because like the 50 kg bag, it was really a big fight. I was pitting my brother here, Washira, when that was happening because some farmers from where I come from, they were saying it is not possible to sell a 50 kg potato bag. They were saying that is not, there is no business there. They wanted that extended, but it was also killing our farmers. So we also recognize what you said, and even those guys, because initially it was like a story, but now it is something we can talk about. We cannot also not forget to indicate that the policy guidelines you have provided for, that is support. I know my team from the policy division, they really talk of IFNDC because anytime they want to do something on the potato, they run there because they know they get some support. I'm saying we are not yet there. Evelyn, we are not yet there. We need some more review of what we are having because, as I said earlier, we would wish to see our potato getting to the same level with your country, Ireland, because I was surprised what the potatoes can do. So, we are looking ahead to see what now you have learned from Nyandarua. Where are we moving from here? We are crossing. Okumu, We are crossing. Or we are warming up. Yeah, that is what I wanted to hear from you. Because if we were crossing, I could not have made my last statement. We are hoping that from what we have learned, because we all agree that a lot of lessons have been done, we have gained a lot, we have now new varieties, and we need to reach other potato growing counties the same way Nyandarua is benefiting. Nyandarua, they are saying they also still to be supported. Now you are walking. Let us get these others who are crawling so that they also start walking. And I'm sure something will be done. So we are looking forward maybe a situation whereby maybe we get another county, Eregomarkwe, they are also there in potato. They are also doing, Meru, they are there with their Shangi. They also need to test that new variety. And this is what really will make us move to that level. Because as you are aware, one of the better value chain in this country, we are really promoting potato. Because with the potato, food security can be really be addressed. The MC was alluding to that when you want chemusha, you say add a few. But what you don't know is that by adding a few, you are inducing a few bags of maize from the same meal. And that is, maize is really overstretched when it comes to saving the food security of this nation. So when you have others like potato now coming in ambiguous, like what is happening in Nyandarua, this one is going to in ambiguous to ensure that this country is food secure. So as we celebrate this, the lessons learned since we started this project, let them be duplicated elsewhere. I know it started with a few. Now we are full. In this room, we are all converted. I'm sure everybody in this room has a story to say about what we are doing today. So I'm hopeful that if all of us convert 100 people, by telling them there are good things coming from Nyandarua, and the Nyandarua, please don't be mean. When we come to the varieties, give us, Carlo, I see my brother here, Kamau and Moses. I know you are not sleeping. More, we need more of those varieties getting to, because now it is not testing. It is already proven that it is working. But as we do all this, there's something I like telling people who are talking of production. We need to think seriously about the soils we are having in this country. So as we look at these value chains, also let us not leave the soil factor behind. Because we could be having excellent varieties, but now when it comes to the soils we are using, they could not support that same genetically improved varieties, and then we start complaining that they are not yielding as indicated by our researchers. So we also need to move with everything and ensure that we have a balanced environment where production will be optimized. With those many words, I don't like preaching to the converted. I want to conclude by saying that the success of this project is a testament to the power of partnership, innovation, and the dedicated efforts in transforming agriculture sector. So when we join together, everybody bringing a solar area of what we know best, bring it on board, we will be able to succeed. So let us remain steadfast in whatever we endeavor to do, and the sky is only the stepping stone to get to the excellent and the wonderful environment. And you'll have very successful farmers who will be saying thank you to all those people who thought about this. Be blessed.
Another round of applause for Mr. Collins Marangu. Thank you very much, and even to the encouragement. And as Bridget has heard very well, we are ready and we are warmed up for the next phase of this. I now invite the Departmental Director, Veril Adele, to give us the project overview, the achievements, and the lessons learned from the PCB project. Karibu sana Veril. Media team, please help.
Thank you so much. As we start with that exercise, I'd like us to just all rise on our feet. And yeah, nice, yeah? So you've heard a lot about potato as the second best staple. Where does potato grow? In the soil. Soil fertility, very important. Soil health and soil management is very important. I just want to share with you 3 things that make soil so important to me from the time I was this little. Please tap your feet like this. Aha. I walked on that soil to school. My grandmother used that soil to produce food. I used that soil to build my first house. It was a hut. I molded with it nicely, and I completed it with a bit of grass. And finally, I learned that that soil not only means that I can survive, but it's the future of my existence and the future of my generations to come. Therefore, the work that we do is so dependent on soil that it becomes imperative for the International Fertilizer Development Center to become a part of the commitment of the African Union and the African governments to ensure that as we do all these collaborative activities for food security, that soil is taken care of for that final result. Please have your seats. I'm not going to bore you with PCB project. I'm just going to give the highlights. I think we've been given enough highlights. So if I go on and tell you so much about how the farmers have done the business school and all that, we are going to be taking too much of your time. So I'll just take you quickly through the highlights. Media team. I'll speak through it though. So the PCB project has been running since 2018. This is 2024. This is 2025 that we are going to be closing it in April. 6 years of investment. Thank you to the Irish government for trusting us and believing in us with our partners to spend your money wisely. We are here to celebrate the results of what we have been able to achieve through the 6 years. We've talked about the partnerships. I'm not going to dwell into that. It's a systems-driven approach that enhances partnerships for us to realize and sustain results. So the national systems are here, KEFIS, NPCK, county government, and the private sector. We can't leave them behind. And therefore, the approach that we have used here has been to engage partners, to co-design, to learn together, and to move to the next level. Hence our 3 phases. Because the partners were so important that as we continue to progress, we realized we all must come back to the table, we all must learn together, and then we all must advance forward and invite other partners to the table. The relevance of our project is food security, of course, and enhancing the farmers' economic productivity. And so you'll see as we go through this overview, you're just going to be able to see what we've learned through the phases, what we've done with the farmers, how we've engaged the partners to ensure that there's food security as well as market access for economic benefits of our farmers. But I want to reiterate that young people are very essential in driving this because the median age in Kenya is 19. So you can imagine if that's our median age. And anybody who's 19 here? Next time, guys, think about it. Let's have them around the table. So if that's our median age, we are going to make efforts to ensure that we engage them. And so through this process, you're going to see how, as we proceeded along, we brought more people to the table, and even thinking around young people and how we engage them, how we engage technology, that has already been spoken about, how we push to the last mile, how we ensure new varieties come in, how we ensure certification so that products can land into the land of our farmers. All that was done through the process. I want to thank our partners. They're in the room today. They have been mentioned. But we can't thank you enough because without you who are listed here, we wouldn't have been able to be celebrating today. This is not the end of partnership. I'd like to remind you that at the end of this presentation, we are going to be talking about the future. What does the future look like? How do we advance from Nyandarua into other counties? How do we take these lessons and move with them forward? How do we ensure that the policies that are being set in place, the action plan from the policies that we have that are currently under the gatekeepership of KEFIS are transitioned and they're realized not only in Nyandarua, but nationwide. Our key guest speaker was very categorical about that. Yeah, Nyandarua County. Wangapi wameenda Nyandarua? Wangapi? Aha. If you've not been to Nyandarua, see you extent. Honorable Francis. They haven't been to Kenya. You are not in Kenya. You haven't been to Kenya. So this is Nyandarua County. We went to Nyandarua several times. I tell you, the farmers represent all of us. All of us have that moment where we spent time in the village. I grew up in rural Kenya, so I'm pretty much informed. But Nyandarua County is beautiful. It's green and lush now. It looks amazing, but there are so many things that the county government is putting in place. And this represents the rest of Kenya. I want to say that the capability of a county government to come in and be a part of a process that is going to change the lives of the people of that county is going to be picked up. There's going to be adoption. There's going to be crowding in from Uganda, from South Sudan. So let us look at this not just as Nyandarua. Let us look at it from Mozambique. Start thinking about Nigeria. What are we doing here that we can advance? What lessons? We can't sit here in the room and say, oh, sasa sisi tumefika hapa Nyandarua, tumemaliza. Oh, sorry, Evelyn, let me. We can't sit here and say, now we've reached Nyandarua, we are done, we are happy, this is 2025, celebrate, let's move on. No. We have to step into the African Union continent. We have to contribute to the CADEP. We just came out last month. We have to contribute to the commitments of the Africa Fertilizer and Soil Health Summit. And therefore, we are a product of Africa. From Nyandarua, we are contributing to the world, right? So in phase 1, 2018 to 2020, we worked in 4 intervention areas. The first one was farmer education. With farmer education, we looked at the farmer field business schools, and then we also had what we call demonstration farms, we reached 5,761 farmers, directly with training on good agricultural practices. I'm going to skip the lessons because they've already been shared. Our area 2 was strengthening the seed production supply chain. 3 varieties were introduced: the Java, the Maverick, and the Buffalo. Adoption of certified seed increased from 7 to 18%. That's a big plus. We are looking at moving to 70, to 80, to 90, 100, moving into the rest of the country, moving into Uganda, South Sudan, Malawi. That's what we're looking at. And linkage to markets. Farmers delivered 481,455 kilograms, worth a turnover of 15 million plus on average. Now, apart from that, of course, we need to learn from each other, and therefore the project organized institutional knowledge transfer, where we had a visit to to Ireland, and I know there's been a recent visit from Kenya to Ireland, and then there's a visit exchange to Kefis and Tigask. The lessons from phase 1 then built us on to phase 2, where we now moved from just learning, farmers are learning, access to market, and saying, yeah, we've introduced variety of seed, now they need to have access to that seed, but they still need to have continued access, but then we need to move from this space into policy dialogue. And that is where our dialogue with policy was built, and we did quite some work around that. I'm going to move real fast. All this information is on the IFDC website, and if you're really interested, please visit IFDC website and track the PCB project. In phase 3, which ran from 2024 July to end of April, we are ending at the end of April, we have, this phase was really important because this is where we sat and we reflected and said, are we going to be funded forever? And even if we are going to be funded, is there something that we can build and push out of Nyandarua County? Is there some sort of sustainability that we want to see? And then we were supported in these 4 areas. Strengthen the communication systems of the county government. And really this strengthening of the communication system is in the realization that policy is changing, new varieties are coming. How are we communicating this to farmers? Are they just hearing from other farmers and then practicing? No, there has to be structure in the way that the farmers access market. There has to be structure in the way that new changes, like the size of the bag, and all this is communicated. But then we also realize that by building this communication within the county, it's something that can be replicated, can be adopted by different counties. But then it just doesn't end with the potato. It creates a framework for the county to start building their capacity to address the needs of their county members. And communication is not just one way, it's both ways. So with this strategy, we take into recognition that there has to be an internal communication within the county government, there has to be a communication that's going out, and there has to be communication that's going in. So putting that in a framework that is really, really accountable and really getting the results of communication was key for us. We have completed building of storage facility with one of the cooperative farmers, PCB. We are looking at reducing post-harvest loss, and we are looking at how this can be replicated to enhance farmers' productivity and reduction in post-harvest loss. But I want to share with you something that's really important here, right? So the Warehouse Receipt Council is a partner in sort of like trying to walk this journey and understand how best they can create accountability for farmers, right? So by having this structure, what does it mean for the Warehouse Receipting Council to come in? Which is an effort that Bridget and the team have done. We want to ensure that there's accountability for farmers' products. What does that mean? That we have data that can then be used to understand the demand of farmers in terms of input and services, but then also we have data of output of what's coming out from farmers. And with that data, it's very easy for us to look at how do we improve yield, how do we enhance economic growth, how do we capture other data that will be important for food security. So some of the partnerships, it's not just building a warehouse, putting up a structure. It goes beyond that. So when you look at this structure, it's beyond the building. It's a lot. There's a lot of data that's going to come from this center that will inform future development. And therefore, I'd like to reach out to the Irish government to see how best we can replicate this model and to create that accountability for farmers. And this is where we can actually capture the opportunities for young people as well. And really start to see, and I want to just relate this with something we are doing in Nigeria. We want to build this kind of thing, and we're building it with one of the parastatals in Nigeria. So what we want to do is we want to really enhance digitization of these facilities and really use that data to drive informed decision, private sector, government, input, supply, output, and stuff like that. So this is really big for us. It might look small, like it's a small structure, but it's really, really going to contribute to the future of sustainability, not of this government. And I want to share with you that our work in Nigeria is informed by this. So you can imagine how small Nyandarua is. And you can imagine Nigeria and the kind of lessons we are picking from there and transitioning into Nigeria using this model of digitization of a storage facility to be more effective in delivery. I just wanted to highlight that. And policy intervention, we're going to hear a bit about that when we get into the panel section, where we're going to talk a bit about our journey in the policy work with the different national system partners. And yeah, more to come. There's a lot of collaboration to go in, but I think we are learning a lot. I've given you the Nigeria example, and there's an opportunity for us to carry forward and move this investment forwards. We are going to be shifting from just looking at the number of farmers to looking at how do systems deliver for those farmers. Are we creating an effective system that's going to reach millions of farmers rather than 50 farmers in a farmer field school? This, I'll go back to the storage facility. This structure may look like, oh, what have they achieved? 6 years, they just built this. But this is a model that's informing the future of delivery of service to farmers. Women are going to stop walking miles to take their product to market. If we have digitized systems, they're going to be able to move product into this warehouse and go home, get a receipt, get paid. At the end of the month, it's working in coffee. Why can't it work in horticulture? Why can't it work in potato? So that is where we are headed to. Systemic change, solutions that bring systemic change. Digitization is huge on that. And therefore, I'd like to end this by thanking all of you, our partners, for bringing us to this successful deliberation into the next phase. I don't want to call it a close, because what's coming is exciting. So thank you so much. And yeah, let's continue with the rest of the sessions.
Thank you, Varil, for that update. It's now about 40 minutes past 10. I will try to get you out here a few minutes before 1. We now want to take a photo, some photos for today, and I would request Varil, please come forward. I also request Bridget Okumu, please come forward. Miss Evelyn Maris, please come forward. Honorable Francis Mirimbu from Nyandarua, please come. And also Mr. Collins Marangu, please stand in front so that we can take some official photos for today. I think you may want to stand down there, or maybe come up, and then when more people join, you can go down. I know our photographers are ready. Thank you very much. Please go ahead. Thank you very much. I request that please don't go. I ask that they be joined by the chief officers of our partners. If you're a chief officer of one of the partners that were in various slides, please step forward. Or the chief officers from anyone else from the Irish Embassy, from NPCK, from ISIPE, please join the photo. Yes. I think they want to go up. Yes, photographers you have. Please wait a minute.
Since 1974, the International Fertilizer Development Center, IFDC, has researched, developed, and scaled sustainable agricultural solutions to end global hunger and poverty.
Yes, let's also take those photos.
Expert in soil nutrient and input technologies, IFDC is uniquely
thank you.
your next generation fertilizer. Ideas a reality. From ideation to commercialization through project development.
Thank you. If you have also representation from Carlo, Kefis, and also the farmers that were coming from Nyandarua, please also join the group.
Process that needs improving. IFDC provides clients with support at every step.
Carlo, Kefis, or any of the other government agencies that were invited, please join the group now.
Development related to nutrient efficiency, balanced nutrition, soil health, and nutrient recycling. Our laboratories are equipped to develop and analyze.
So give the photographers 1 minute.
Agro inputs. Feasibility tests and nutrient content analysis provide a basis for the development of new products and quality control.
Thank you. I think now we can all come to the front. I think most of us will fit in front and see how many of us can fit in the photo.
And controlled release multi-nutrient fertilizers, while our analysis and quality control.
Please come in front. We have expert photographers to help us, and as many of us as possible will show up in this group photo.
We offer pilot plant and engineering services to test a product at scale. Our pilot plant complex, comprising 5 scales of fertilizer production plants, including phosphoric acid and granulation, can assist in testing the feasibility and scalability of any new fertilizer product. From physical properties testing to technical assistance during design, construction, and startup of fertilizer production plants, IFDC's engineering services ensure a comprehensive approach to developing your process or product. For larger projects, engineering staff can perform
and make sure you're not standing in front of someone shorter than you.
Commercial processes and provide on-site troubleshooting and debottlenecking services with experienced staff. On-site training sessions for client, technical, and operations staff.
So ask your person standing next to you to smile like they have eaten hot potatoes this morning.
That can take your product one step closer to commercialization through greenhouse and global field trials. Our 4 in-house greenhouse facilities allow to test the performance and quality of inputs, from nutrient use efficiency to climate analysis. We have the capability of measuring nutrient losses.
Keep smiling. The best photos are about to be taken.
Greenhouse gas emissions in both greenhouse and field trials. With partnerships all over the world, IFDC has the exclusive ability to perform field trials under limitless.
Okay, I think we are done. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Europe and Latin and North
Thank you so much.
From idea to
I know the media team has one short video ready for us, and they can play it now.
fertilizer and soil health technology.
Oh, and when we play that video, I request the panelists to join me on stage and have the seats. From Kefis, no, from the county government of Nyandarua, we have Honorable Francis Mirengo. From KEFIS, we have Mr. Simon Maina. From Calro, we have Dr. Moses Nyongesa. From MPCK, we have Washira Kagwongo. And from Kevian, we have Kemani Rogendo. From WRS Council, we have Lucy Komen. Allow also for me to say my name is Solomon Mwangi. I'm part of IFDC. I'm very glad to be emceeing this event today. As the guests join us, the seats are ready for you. Also the moderator, Veril Adele, please join in so that we can have the panel discussion for the next 40 minutes.
Since 1974, the International Fertilizer Development Center, IFDC, has researched, developed, and scaled sustainable agricultural solutions to end global hunger and poverty. As an independent expert in soil nutrient and input technologies, IFDC is uniquely positioned to take your next generation fertilizer, soil health, and agricultural technology ideas and make them a reality. From ideation to commercialization through project development, proof of concepts through lab and greenhouse trials, and product performance validation through field trials. Whether your idea is a sketch on the back of a napkin or an established process that needs improving, IFDC provides clients with support at every step. IFDC's scientists regularly perform fertilizer research processes and product development related to nutrient efficiency, balanced nutrition, soil health, and nutrient recycling. Our laboratories are equipped to develop and analyze a wide variety of agro inputs. Feasibility tests and nutrient content analysis provide a basis for the development of new products and quality control in the production process. A bench-scale coating lab is equipped to conduct granulation and fluid bed coating research for slow and controlled release multi-nutrient fertilizers, while our analysis and quality control labs provide product evaluation, including important data on nutrient content for production facilities. When your idea is ready for production, we offer pilot plant and engineering services to test a product at scale. Our pilot plant complex, comprising 5 scales of fertilizer production plants, including phosphoric acid and granulation, can assist in testing the feasibility and scalability of any new fertilizer product. From physical properties testing to technical assistance during design, construction, and startup of fertilizer production plants, IFDC's engineering services ensure a comprehensive approach to developing your process or product. For larger projects, engineering staff can perform pre-feasibility or basic engineering studies for new or modified commercial processes and provide on-site troubleshooting and debottlenecking services with experienced staff. On-site training sessions for client, technical, and operations staff are also available. IFDC is the only independent, nonprofit expert that can take your product one step closer to commercialization through greenhouse and global field trials. Our 4 in-house greenhouse facilities allow to test the performance and quality of inputs, from nutrient use efficiency to climate analysis. We have the capability of measuring nutrient losses by volatilization and leaching and greenhouse gas emissions in both greenhouse and field trials. With partnerships all over the world, IFDC has the exclusive ability to perform field trials under limitless growing conditions across Africa, Asia, Europe, and Latin and North America. From idea to commercialization, IFDC is your one-stop shop for developing cutting-edge fertilizer and soil health technologies. Don't leave your idea on the back of a napkin. Let's make it a reality and change the world together.
time. So don't look at this panel like your usual. Here, we are going to engage. We want to hear this story properly. And I want to put a disclaimer. So I know you guys received some questions, but allow me to deviate a bit. I want to hear from you like the real story. I don't want you to be prompted by questions and you go and sleep over them. And no. We want the real deal, no prep, right? So here we are going to hear the true story behind the PCB project. We have been talking about partners. We have been alluding to good things happening. But today we just want to share like, where are we coming from and what does the future look like? And we want to hear this from the partners. And a lot of times we ask ourselves at the beginning of projects, like, what does sustainability look like? This is what it looks like. 6 men and 1 woman. Right? But we'll take care of that. Behind these men, there are some powerful women. So I am sure of that, right? So let us hear the story and let us start to map out what sustainability looks like. Who's taking ownership of what? I sit here as IFDC, the facilitator for the sustainability, and in these stories of today, you'll be able to hear, okay, so now IFDC is just going to be ensuring these guys, we're going to be on the phone and everything, but we are going to be still working together and collaborating. So I'd like to start with introductions. Right immediately from my immediate left is Mr. Kimani Rugendo from Kevian. Mr. Kimani, please tell us about Kevian and the involvement of Kevian in the process, and then we'll just go on like that. I don't have to call. So I'll give you 2 minutes each, just do an introduction and the involvement of your organization in this, and then we'll proceed with story time. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Mine is Kimani Rugendo, and I'm the CEO of Kevian Kenya Limited, which is a private company. That was, we started way down about 1995. And initially we were involved with juice production, dealing with the small-scale farmers, where we used to buy their produce, come crush it in our thicker factory, transform it to concentrate, and then pack it as juices. That is Afia, Pick and Peel, Mount Kenyan Water, even tomato sauces and ketchups, which are also Kevian brand. Thank you. Then, afterwards, we thought we wanted to be not only in beverages, we wanted to be in foods. And we thought about going into crisping. And looking around, we found that there were not enough potatoes for this purpose. So we transformed and became also producers. And the initially, we formed an association with an Irish company that was called IPM, although it's not really very functional now. And we built a store in Ngoshishi near in Meru County, which is a 2,500 ton operation. As we went on, we signed up with Karu so that we could keep on propagating the national varieties. And in the journey, we also developed our own, which is RAM. And RAM is also a Kevian-owned variety, which has a 20% dry matter. and can grow in both highlands and lowlands. As such, we also built a lab, which gives us apical cuttings. At the same time, we do aeroponics and hydroponics, so that production of seeds can be accelerated, aware of the fact that apical cuttings is similar to tissue culture. We produce these ones and then take them to the field or send them to some of the propagators that come our way. And that is perhaps in a nutshell what I could say that Kevian is all about, although I would like to say that the varieties that are available from Karu are quite popular, and you find that also farmers particularly would come and say, let's say I would like Shangi, and there is no way you can move them from whatever it is unless, however, you keep on persuading them. So we need more and more, maybe field tests, so that a lot of education can be impacted to our farmers, and to ensure that both also national varieties do not disappear, because of course our scientists are involved. They can only be improved, and while others are coming and new ones are coming, so that we don't become just a testing field. We have crops that are available to sustain our people. As you know, I think we should also agree here that we have moved from rain-fed agriculture to irrigation-fed. And most of the farmers I find are trying to do that. And even as they try to do that, again, water is not plentiful. Most of our water tables are drying, so we have to actually look for a variety that will require little water to sustain and also to produce. I think this, I would call on everyone here involved in this particular potato value chain to sort of embrace also innovations so that we can keep on innovating to be able to feed ourselves and, as you said, Africa in general. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I want to start again by mentioning my name. I'm Francis Mirengo, the CEC in charge of agriculture, livestock, and fisheries in Nyandarua County. And just a bit of a brief on our place in the potato sector is that the county is one of the biggest producer of potatoes in the country, and at some point actually we were ranked as a top producers. From the latest information, Nakuru is first actually moving forward. They are retro ahead of us according to the latest statistics. But we have a very big stake in the potatoes that are eaten in this country. For many years, we were somewhere around 35% of the potatoes that are eaten in this country are coming from Nyandarua County, and that's a significant quantity. Now, looking at how the government of the county government of Nyandarua has really come in to support the whole value chain, we have looked at, the whole length from seed production to supporting our farmers to be able to sell their potatoes. And we are grateful that we have very key partners like IFDC, the Embassy of Ireland. We have a state-of-the-art unit that helps us to produce certified seed potatoes for our people. We have a tissue culture lab. We also have an aeroponic unit, hydroponic unit, all that put together to be able to provide our farmers with initial certified seeds. We work very well with industry partners like KEFIS and CARO in making sure that this is happening. And it is the government policy, our government and our governor, Dr. Badirisha, it's the policy to improve accessibility of what is most important in production of potatoes, and that is seed potatoes. And the plan is that from next year, we are going big in availing seeds for our farmers as much as possible through organized structures, through the cooperatives and through groups, so that we can increase availability of the certified seeds, quality seeds to our farmers. So we are in it, we are doing the best we can, and we are grateful that we have quality partners like the ones we have. Thank you.
Thank you. So now, just before I move on to Eric Washira and the rest of the panelists, I'd just like to remind you that you got 2 minutes. Please use it to just do an introduction of what you're currently doing. You only have about 15 minutes left, but I'd like us to get into the sustainability angle. So if you could just tell me about your organization and currently what you're doing in 2 minutes, that will be great. That will take us about 8 minutes, and then we can proceed into the real story time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning. I'm Freddy Kokot from the Warehouse Receipt System Council. We are a government entity under the Ministry of Trade, Investment and Industry. We are implementing the Act of Parliament of 2019. So warehouse receipt system, we are in the place, we are bringing back the old granaries where our mothers and grandmothers, those who grew up in village setup can understand, where they were storing their commodities in a granary in preparation for the hunger. So for the WRS, this is a digitalized storage system where we are bringing the actors together, like the depositors and the farmers and the off-takers. So this is done through certifying a warehouse operator. So this is where the farmers will be able to access markets, they'll be able to store their produce for the reduction of post-service losses and accessible finance. In Nyandarua County, we are working with the IFDC, and last year we did the training for 400 farmers in conjunction with the county government. So we are here to bring the technology, the digital system, to revitalize the agriculture sector, and more so for potato in Nyandarua County. Thank you.
Good morning again. I'm Washira Kagongo, CEO, National Potato Council of Kenya. National Potato Council of Kenya is a PPP, public-private partnership, that brings stakeholders from public and private together in potato industry to work together. It provides a forum for networking and solution search, and also provides services that improve the businesses in the industry. We also do lobbying for supportive policies, and that's how we worked with in this project with IFDC and other partners to support Nyandarua County to produce the first county potato strategy, which is normally informed by national potato strategy. We also worked with the Nyandarua County and partners to implement or to develop 2019 potato regulations, which tried or has been trying to regulate packaging and also bring about order in the sense of helping farmers, coordinating farmers into groups and farmer cooperatives, and also capacity building when they are organized, and also linking them to the market. So in this project, we also developed via the so-called digital platform. And what happened is that it was developed to provide information, market information, and extension. But during this project, it's when it was transformed into an e-commerce ecosystem. This means that farmers are able to order inputs such as fertilizer, such as seeds, such as agrochemicals. And for them to be able to do that, for us to be able to do that, it means bringing all partners who are in this space of inputs together to work with us. And it helps in the sense that it makes sure that we make sure that by using it, we are getting products from genuine manufacturers directed to the to farmers, which means the areas of adulteration, fake seeds, fake agrochemicals is eliminated, and also the principle of corrective input sourcing and marketing aggregation is achieved through the VSOCO digital platform. It's a platform that has a lot of potential, and that's why you've had it being mentioned quite a number of times here, because it's actually revolutionizing the industry in the sense of enabling farmers access inputs easily. So National Plant Council is there to bring stakeholders together and partnership in this project occurred through the National Plant Council. We have members from research, private sector, that is input providers, Bayer, Sorrento, and other. I mean, through it we are able to bring other partners like those who are now doing storage, cold storage, and all this. And these are the areas that we need to move to, and I think that we'll be discussing later on this. So National Plant Council is a PPP and private, and the membership platform that also convenes workshops, conferences, and through the project we are able to hold a number, or to support a number of farmers to interact with other businesses. This is B2B, like in national potato conferences, which were held in Nairobi. A number of farmers were able to come there and do businesses.
I think we can move on to the next.
Yes, good morning. My name is Simon Maina. I'm the director in charge of seed certification and plant variety protection at KEFIS. KEFIS, Kenya Plant Health Inspectorate Service, we are a state corporation under the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, mandated to offer regulatory services in agriculture. We have two major components that are relevant to the discussion on potato. We do offer regulatory services on plant health in terms of movement on plant materials across borders, whether we're talking about export, imports. We cover all plant materials, flowers, vegetables, wood, and so on. We have plant health clinics that are very important for our farmers, where we give advisory services. We have quarantine services. We have service laboratories where we are able to test for diseases, for the quality of seeds. We test also other inputs. I know this many people not know that we test water for irrigation, for suitability. We test fertilizers. We do test soils for fertility. We have quite an elaborate laboratory system testing pesticide residues, heavy metals, quality of fish, and all that. We have a very elaborate system, actually. Probably for some of those components, we are the best lab in the region. So it's a service that will be able to collaborate. AFDC very interested in fertilizer and other institutions. I'm actually excited that the hall is branded with KEFIS colors, so we are really much at home. On seed quality elements, we test new varieties that are being developed by breeders, whether they are developed locally or from other countries, for suitability and adaptability to ensure that farmers get maximum benefit out of it. And also we are in the area of seed quality, which is very important, seed certification, inspections, testing, educating growers and supporting them to be able to produce high quality seed. And therefore this discussion and the project is very relevant to us. Within the project, we have been involved in evaluating the varieties that were listed here. The 3 varieties were tested by KEFIS and were confirmed to perform to be superior and to perform well. We have worked together. I think the latest product is what we had the policy brief, which I think we'll be discussing in the course of this. I don't want to go into the detail of that. So those are important components. Of course, the issue of testing is very key, and I know there are quite a number of activities who are involved in supporting the setting up of the lab, the facility at Oljororok, and in collaboration with the county government of Nyandarua, because that's our area of strength. We have elaborate laboratories in Mogoga, and also with other areas, other partners. We have done a lot of testing in Nyandarua. We also worked with the NYS, so I think there is so much that we are working, and that's relevant to this. I don't want to really take so much time. My time is limited. I think we'll be talking on specifics as we continue. Thank you very much.
My name is Moses Nyongesa. When you're the last one to speak, you have the disadvantage of time, but I'm so happy to be part of this. I work for the Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization, also a parastatal in the Ministry of Agriculture. We're the organization responsible for agricultural research in this country, supporting both crops and livestock, as well as managing issues around natural resource management. But we also do capacity building of value chain actors, as well as creating linkages for with extension. With its extensive network of centers that are spread across the country, CARO offers a platform on which to roll out technologies and reach out to the farmers who need them. As the discussion has been going on, you've heard Carol mentioned severally. I will just highlight a few of those issues. As the public breeder, we are responsible for developing public varieties to respond in a way that satisfies the market and the various value chain actors. Using the new approach of involving actors as the varieties are being developed to increase the chances of adoption once they are ready, we are doing now the product profiling so that a variety is profiled before even the breeder begins the work, so that there is a high chance that this variety responds to the urgent needs of the industry. So the question around seed availability rests quite heavily on us because this is where it starts. When a variety is ready, having been taken through the national performance trials with KEFIS, and it is now released, the burden falls on CARO, if this is a public variety, to avail the breeder seed. So this requires also technologies that ensures that it is rapidly developed to be able to reach the farmers. So we have in our possession technologies like the rooted apical cuttings, the aeroponics, that we have also been able to support the industry actors, both in the public sector and the private sector, to be able to establish this and to run with it. We think that these new technologies avail the opportunities for inclusion of youth. So we having to see how to leverage on this and make seed widely available to the farmers. So as concerns the potato value chain capacity building project, CARO was quite part of this because we hosted the piloting of this store that is off-grid to generate the data to support issues around how long can a variety remain in this and still possess the processing qualities or the market demanded traits around how the potato needs to be. So we're quite happy to have been part of this, and I think as we go into the specifics, we will be able to respond to some of these issues. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, my panelists. I'd like to just build a storyline on that. So basically what we are trying to share here is partnerships are key. So the three varieties that we have, it's not possible for them to get to the farmer, regardless of their superiority, if we do not form partnerships. Starting to my left is the county government. That is our gatekeeper to the farmer. Why is the county government our gatekeeper to the farmer? Because the farmer is a member of a county, and the county has a strategy to develop its constituents. And if we don't engage the farmer, the variety is just a variety, right? Then we've got the private sector. Then what happens then if once the farmer has already produced, what happens? But then we've also got the private sector on the other hand to facilitate accessibility of seed and of accessibility of other inputs. The private sector participation is very crucial for us because the private sector is driven by commercialization. Engaging the private sector enhances commercial viability of the farmers. And then we've got digitization of farmer records. And I'll go back to the storage facility with PCB cooperatives. How will that structure function if we don't digitize it in this day and age? The warehouse receipting council comes to play. And there's an importance for each of these farmers, for each of these partners. And then we come to the National Potato Council, who are talking about we've digitized access to market, input, output. Who's that partner that's already doing that with a reach that's nationwide? It's the national, meaning if they can do it in Nyandarua, they can do it in Marsabit. So it just means that these partnerships are crucial. And the story we are starting to tell you here is, how does IFDC work? We actually work to engage the system to be functional and deliver. These guys are not sitting in their own offices and talking alone and spearheading. They're actually working with each other. Varieties cannot go to the market if they're not certified, if they're not tested, if they're not scaled. And so sometimes you think that, oh, let's really do quick, write this proposal, submit it to the Irish embassy, and then we'll sit behind and say, oh, guys, we're going to implement. Behind all this, I don't know, the past project managers, I'd like you to stand up again, because I think Bridget tried to, but not all of you were in the room. Patrick Foro, Erica Taka, Jocelyn, and Josephat. I'd like to just bring you guys to the front, because these are your friends. These guys literally are basically keeping their phones hot and boiling. These guys. And thank you so much for allowing us to facilitate this on your behalf. I'd like to thank you so much, but I'd like to now dive into the proper storyline. Let us start with the PCB cooperative storage facility. I foresee that going in other counties. But I'd like to start with you, Eric. Tell us, in 2 minutes, how will your warehouse receipting council help? And then how do you see what you do in PCB being replicated in Wajir?
Thank you very much, Frederick, not Eric, sorry for that. As the council, we've been working with the FDC to certify PCB. As I said, we are a government regulator, a parastatal. So what we do, we have to ensure that the warehouse meets the storage standards. We don't just certify just for the sake of farmers or just to make our operator happy. We have to protect the interest of the farmers, the off-takers, and the financial institutions. At the PCB warehouse, this is where there's a tech hub, where the off-takers will meet the farmers. The farmers will meet the financial institutions. Now it works this. The farmers will make the deposit and they'll be issued by a document called the warehouse receipt. The warehouse receipt is transferable, it is a proof of ownership, and it is a financial instrument. So this, it will let the PCB cooperative society farmers, one, to have access to better markets, two, to reduce the post-harvest losses. We understand that it is estimated that farmers lose 40% of the production that is for Irish potato. Now, out of the 100 kilogram bags, our farmers are losing 40 kilograms. So through the PCB, the farmers will be able to reduce the post-harvest losses to as low as 10%. Three, they'll be able to access finance since the warehouse receipt is used as a collateral. As it is now, banks are reluctant to give loans to farmers. One, because they consider it as the risky. If a farmer stores a commodity in their house, they can't go for the financing. But other PCB, they are able to get the financing to help them in their production.
Thank you, Eric. I'd like to quickly bring it back to the county government. Now, with this knowledge that we are getting from PCB, please help us understand how in your county-to-county collaborations, you're able to use the communication strategy that we've developed to advance this information and ensure it is taken up by other counties.
Okay, I want to bring us to a story.
Keep it 2 minutes, so that I can give chance to
I hope I will. I want to bring us to a story of a few years ago when we had drought, especially in the northeastern province or in the northeastern region. And in the same year, Nyandarua County had surplus of produce, potatoes and vegetables and all that. And the only reason why that high produce was not available in those regions is because there was no communication, proper communication. So a communication strategy, first of all, helps us to understand what is happening elsewhere. We can be able to reach out to others who are potential markets to our people. They can also be able to reach us. There are channels that will help us to be able to open our production to other people, to inform other people, and it's very clear on that. Number two, the communication strategy also helps us to think before. Think of it like this. Now we are preparing for production this year. We have our farmers, they are actually working on their land to prepare to plant. But the hectareage that we will have is a reflection of what we expect in 3 months. So the communication strategy will help us to even do what is called pre-selling. We should not wait until the production is in the store so that we can inform our potential buyers that we have a product that is in the store. So this is actually, for me, a very strong direction. It helps us look at production, not just now, but even in the projected future. Thank you.
I picked one word there, pre-selling. Viazi Soko. How does Viazi Soko help the pre-selling to happen? And I want to relate this to a conversation I was having in Burundi last week, right? So they want to build a pre-order system for seed. But now I want us to look at both ways. Pre-ordering for input, because you've told us input is coming in, and pre-ordering for output. 2 minutes just to tell us how pre-ordering works on Viazi Soko for input and for output. And You are picturing the storage facility, right? That building that I showed you at the end. Please, that is your storyline that we are developing here.
Thank you. Because of the big shortage, inadequacy of seed, every time farmers are looking for seed, they sometimes travel very far and go and find the seed is finished. And sometimes the large-scale farmers are able to order almost everything before the small-scale farmers are able to get. So what we did is we were able to introduce that component of pre-ordering, where farmers can pay 20% of the cost of the seed, and with that we order. And now, since we already know the number of farmers that are buying through the system, and we project, we are able to give orders to the seed producers early enough for next, already like now, the next season, we've given orders to Kisima, Agrico, Fresh Crop and others, and told them we want this number of bags. And farmers are already ordering. Every day they are giving that 20%. And that helps in terms of economies of scale. It's cheaper, and also assurance of getting the seed, and of course, equality. Now, this is...
Thank you. We'd like to move forward.
Okay,
I think it's
the whey potato.
The whey potato?
Yes.
I think we'll give it an opportunity.
Okay.
We're running out of time.
Okay,
I'd just like
please.
us to go back to Kefis to help us understand all this work that we've done with the policy and advancing the policy. On this side, of course, we are trying to advance the market, we are the input, the using and enhancing post-harvest. But you know, on this side also there's policy that has to take place. So I'd like you, sir, if you can just share with us in 2 minutes the current process that you're undertaking and what that looks like in terms of timelines into implementation of the different policy activities that we've been carrying out with the PCB project.
Okay, thank you very much. Of course, policy is everything. What happens, we normally have policy, and of course that informs law, and law is what we implement. Like where I sit, we are implementing the law. And the good thing in collaboration with IFDC and other partners, we have been able to come up with a policy brief which identifies areas of intervention, and one key is the issue of shortage of seeds. So the next step will be to engage the policymakers. Basically for us, the CS, the Cabinet Secretary for Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development is key, so that has been the next step. But as we do that, we have many players in the private sector who also play a very key role. And even in these issues identified, there are technical issues that don't need the engagement with the policymakers, which we can handle at technical level, especially in terms of empowering growers to grow certified seed and ensuring that we have the capacity in seed production and production of quality seed. So one of the things that we can see is an item that has been identified is review of the seed policy, which is a process that has been initiated. I know it has challenges in terms of funding. The review of the Seeds and Plant Varieties Act to be able to accommodate some of the issues that we have been discussing, and there are other cross-cutting issues. But what I would say, as we talk about the policy issues, at the end of the day, we want farmers to have access to high-quality seed. There are measures that we are looking at. I said capacity building for inspections and testing is very key that we can work on. Collaborating. What is the best and most viable model for availing certified seed? And one of the things we say, we need highly professional people who are capable of producing high quality, high volumes of high quality seed, but at the same time seed that is being availed to the small scale farmers who can do maybe one cycle of multiplication and still increase the amount of seed. One of the things, you talked about 19-year-olds and you asked if there is any. I would have been surprised if there was any, because of course agriculture is not attractive to them, but we must bring them in. One of the things we do is technology. From where I sit, we conduct inspections. And especially in the big potato fields and maize, somebody requires to walk in that field maybe 10 kilometers in a day, walking through the fields in gumboots, and it's raining. It's during the rainy season. These young people will not do that. So one of the things is technology. Can we use drones, for example, for inspection? Can you use computer systems whereby you can sit in a car, send out a drone, collect data, and you're good? Those are some of the things that we are looking at. We need to advance. Of course, new technologies have come. This morning, I was actually meeting a TIP. We were discussing the issue of hybrid tree potato seed. Traditionally, we have been doing seed using tubers, but now we are working on systems where you can have using seed, which is true seed, which is easy to carry and doesn't carry a lot of diseases. We are having now the issue of using like the apical cuttings, seedlings that are being used rather than using the tubers themselves. So one of the things we are looking at in the policy is how can we create an environment to facilitate availability of a certified seed of this. So what we'll say is that we are working. You asked about timelines. I think the document is ready. We'll move, and it requires for all of us to be able to ensure that it's given the right attention and also support. Like I know now we are already in the process of review of the seed policy. So that's why we are asking partners, both public and private sector, to be able to support this process, because the seed policy is a key thing. Once we are done with the seed policy, now we can review the laws.
Thank you. Thank you. I'd like to move on to Carlo. And with Carlo, I know that there was an investment into storage facility. If you can just share that with us in terms of how sustainable that is looking. And then we will close with Mr. Kimani Rugendo, sharing with us what the private sector thinks of all these activities that everybody is busy doing. How does it contribute to sustainability of the private sector? So we'll start with Carlo, and then we'll move over to Kevian.
Yeah, thank you. When you look at this intervention in the area of minimizing storage losses, post-harvest losses, we approach it from two perspectives. One of them is when you're talking about the potatoes for eating, and also the potatoes which are meant for planting. So the opportunities availed by this off-grid store is such that it can be installed in places that are slightly separated from where people have access to electricity. So you utilize the conditions that are naturally available to slow down the rate at which the potatoes are lost and deteriorating. So simultaneously, you are handling the post-harvest loss, because at the moment we are reaching up to 40% losses after harvest. So that translates into additional revenue to the farmer, as well as holding on to the produce when there is glut, and then the value increases, so they make more money. So for us, from research perspective, we find that the more of these as are established, they also provide a hub around which we can roll out our technologies, because we're now bundling them, so that we're not giving a solution to a specific problem. It is a value chain issue. So we have issues around fertilizer, issues around crop protection, issues around post-harvest, as we are saying, issues around seed. So all these are bundled. Then these places become places where farmers easily interact with these technologies. So that is how we are seeing this as presenting an opportunity for both farmers to benefit directly by avoiding losses, but also having access to the technologies that will become easily available. Yeah.
Just out of my own curiosity, I am sitting here representing the youth and women. One, I've got a 17-year-old, so I'm representing him here, and I'm a woman. So I'm just wondering, this off-grid technology, is it something that a young person can take as a business and supply as a service to farmers in a specific rural area?
This is how I would look at it. It is both availing those opportunities for the youth, because as you were saying, this receipting system can offer opportunities for these youth to leverage on apps that can support data generation, which may not directly be supported by the electricity, because some of these digital solutions can exist separately from, they are powered by batteries which are embedded in the system itself. But the reason we are really looking at this off-grid store is the cost of running a typical cold storage facility, because you have to maintain the internal conditions at 4 degrees. So it consumes a lot of electricity to maintain those conditions inside the store for seed, and 10 to 13 degrees for potatoes, which are kept for wear. So simultaneously, you have to find how you put together all these two to offer a business opportunity for youth who are bringing in the digital service for warehousing and receipting system.
It's clear.
Yes.
I'd like to move on to private sector, just to crown it off, because the private sector actually sustains us, either food security by ensuring that the product reaches the household for consumption, but at the same time, and that includes a farmer, don't forget, but at the same time, employment opportunities for young people, and keeping the government engaged and accountable in ensuring that systems are functioning and flawless for them to continue in business. I'd like to hand over to you to conclude with what we are doing, all these activities. We are very busy, but what is in it for the private sector?
Thank you very much. I think private sector is keenly looking at the various technologies available, and is aware that our agriculture is not mechanized yet. I think it's just up to 30%, and perhaps that's why it doesn't become very attractive to the youth. So we have to think of serious mechanization, aware that a hungry person is an angry person, and that the government has actually seriously involved, activities on maize production. And we feel that there has to be alternative to maize, because if you look at potatoes, it's a short crop that can be actually done and supplied in the shortest possible time. Maize sometimes will take up to about 7 months. And therefore, we have to look at these alternatives, being in private sector, and view them seriously. Like I mentioned, feeding the nation and offering also services to our neighbors. We have trained some of our neighboring countries in our lab at Thika, and we have taken them also to Nanyuki, Goshishi area, where we have got our field multiplication area. So with all this, private sector is open to also offering services to even competition to ensure that we can get food in abundance. As you have seen also, the agriculture is at threat with home developers. You have seen Thika Road, coffee disappear, a lot of things disappear. So we have to ensure that we keep our farmers very interested and also focused, and find that agriculture is being taken as a business for them to stop being attracted by home developers who are offering them money once, and then we end up becoming net food importers. So our appeal to government also is for policy matters to be seriously observed, so that we don't keep on losing the very, very good agricultural land that is available for production to home developers. They can go to semi-arid areas, and for them, they can plant trees and such, But you will find that they will look at areas, the highlands. We have, all these gated communities in agricultural land. We have lost this, and then we eventually end up looking for new growing area. So this policy matter, it's a call for every one of us, even in the House. Whoever you might meet in the government and the few people, please, let's observe this so that we can keep on feeding our nation.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'd like you guys to give a round of applause to our panelists. For me, this has been very enlightening. Where is the future? Imagine. I want you to just go with one picture. And that picture is of that structure at PESI. It has got potential to reduce post-harvest loss, enhance women's income, reduce the burden of movement for women, meaning that once they deposit their product there, they don't have to move back and forth. And that can release them to other responsibility or even reduce health risks. For young people entering the digital world, it provides them an opportunity to come up with solutions that can be used within those facilities to enhance market access and even to enhance employment. Finally, I want to say that without the government, it's all but talk. Without policy, without enabling environment, it's just talk. And without the private sector, we do not have a future. Therefore, I just want to end by saying we need to move this to the next level. It has already been defined here. Our next level is to facilitate this system to be more functional, for policies to be seen through, for a replication mechanism for that facility. So when we bring in the warehouse receipting and all, what does that look like in terms of replicating small businesses, young people taking up those models and replicating it in their villages? What does that mean? What does that mean for enhancing and advancing women? We have an opportunity to move from that small structure to a powerful model that can power Africa in enhancing food security, economic opportunities, and employment for young people. Our next step at IFDC is to look for partners who are willing to engage us to take this to scale. This cannot end here. I'd like to thank the Irish government that even though sometimes we sit in the boardroom and we say, it's a small investment we're giving you, see how powerful the investment has been. I mean, the stories coming out of here, you can compare them to projects that are giving millions and millions, but you can see the structure that we are building in systemic change here, that we need to advance and ensure that we've got a footprint that's advancing the commitments of our heads of states, wherever they're sitting, advancing the commitments of our ministries of agriculture, advancing the global commitments that we have for food security, and looking at reducing hunger, advancing soil health opportunities. So that cooperative storage facility is a powerful structure that can enable us, through this systemic change, to advance economic empowerment, reduce poverty, and bring in food security. Our appeal is to any investors in the room, any linkage with investing networks, to join us in advancing this to the next level. Thank you very much. Thank you, my panelists.
Let's give a big hand of applause to Veril and to all the panelists. Thank you very much, and thank you for, yes. Bridget is reminding him about the photo, and yes, we are going to take the photos now. The media team requested that they were not able to take very good photos here, so they requested we go right out here on the grass. They'll be guiding us out there. We go take a photo. I also think we need, Kimani Rugendo said, an angry man is a hungry man is an angry man. So there is also tea. We had promised you breakfast. So immediately we take the photo, please have a cup of juice or a cup of coffee for about 5 minutes. And then we can be here. Let's take 10 minutes for both the photo and the tea. And then you come back. So that you stand up, stretch your legs, and we get as good a photo as we can. Yes, please let us all go now so that we don't take so much time. You can leave your laptop or whatever on the table, it will be safe. Let us go now so that we take good photos together.
Since 1974, the International Fertilizer Development Center, IFDC, has researched, developed, and scaled sustainable agricultural solutions to end global hunger and poverty. As an independent expert in soil nutrient and input technologies, IFDC is uniquely positioned to take your next generation fertilizer, soil health, and agricultural technology ideas and make them a reality. From ideation to commercialization through project development, proof of concepts through lab and greenhouse trials, and product performance validation through field trials. Whether your idea is a sketch on the back of a napkin or an established process that needs improving, IFDC provides clients with support at every step. IFDC's scientists regularly perform fertilizer research processes and product development related to nutrient efficiency, balanced nutrition, soil health, and nutrient recycling. Our laboratories are equipped to develop and analyze a wide variety of agro inputs. Feasibility tests and nutrient content analysis provide a basis for the development of new products and quality control in the production process. A bench-scale coating lab is equipped to conduct granulation and fluid bed coating research for slow and controlled release multi-nutrient fertilizers, while our analysis and quality control labs provide product evaluation, including important data on nutrient content for production facilities. When your idea is ready for production, we offer pilot plant and engineering services to test a product at scale. Our pilot plant complex, comprising 5 scales of fertilizer production plants, including phosphoric acid and granulation, can assist in testing the feasibility and scalability of any new fertilizer product. From physical properties testing to technical assistance during design, construction, and startup of fertilizer production plants, IFDC's engineering services ensure a comprehensive approach to developing your process or product. For larger projects, engineering staff can perform pre-feasibility or basic engineering studies for new or modified commercial processes and provide on-site troubleshooting and debottlenecking services with experienced staff. On-site training sessions for client, technical, and operations staff are also available. IFDC is the only independent nonprofit expert that can take your product one step closer to commercialization through greenhouse and global field trials. Our 4 in-house greenhouse facilities allow to test the performance and quality of inputs from nutrient use efficiency to climate analysis. We have the capability of measuring nutrient losses by volatilization and leaching and greenhouse gas emissions in both greenhouse and field trials. With partnerships all over the world, IFDC has the exclusive ability to perform field trials under limitless growing conditions across Africa, Asia, Europe, and Latin and North America. From idea to commercialization, IFDC is your one-stop shop for developing cutting-edge fertilizer and soil health technologies. Don't leave your idea on the back of a napkin. Let's make it a reality. and change the world together. Since 1974, the International Fertilizer Development Center, IFDC, has researched, developed, and scaled sustainable agricultural solutions to end global hunger and poverty. As an independent expert in soil nutrient and input technologies, IFDC is uniquely positioned to take your next generation fertilizer, soil health, and agricultural technology ideas and make them a reality. From ideation to commercialization through project development, proof of concepts through lab and greenhouse trials, and product performance validation through field trials. Whether your idea is a sketch on the back of a napkin or an established process that needs improving, IFDC provides clients with support at every step. IFDC's scientists regularly perform fertilizer research processes and product development related to nutrient efficiency, balanced nutrition, soil health, and nutrient recycling. Our laboratories are equipped to develop and analyze a wide variety of agro inputs. Feasibility tests and nutrient content analysis provide a basis for the development of new products and quality control in the production process. A bench-scale coating lab is equipped to conduct granulation and fluid bed coating research for slow and controlled release multi-nutrient fertilizers, while our analysis and quality control labs provide product evaluation, including important data on nutrient content for production facilities. When your idea is ready for production, we offer pilot plant and engineering services to test a product at scale. Our pilot plant complex, comprising 5 scales of fertilizer production plants, including phosphoric acid and granulation, can assist in testing the feasibility and scalability of any new fertilizer product. From physical properties testing to technical assistance during design, construction, and startup of fertilizer production plants, IFDC's engineering services ensure a comprehensive approach to developing your process or product. For larger projects, engineering staff can perform pre-feasibility or basic engineering studies for new or modified commercial processes and provide on-site troubleshooting and debottlenecking services with experienced staff. On-site training sessions for client, technical, and operations staff are also available. IFDC is the only independent, nonprofit expert that can take your product one step closer to commercialization through greenhouse and global field trials. Our 4 in-house greenhouse facilities allow to test the performance and quality of inputs, from nutrient use efficiency to climate analysis. We have the capability of measuring nutrient losses by volatilization and leaching and greenhouse gas emissions in both greenhouse and field trials. With partnerships all over the world, IFDC has the exclusive ability to perform field trials under limitless growing conditions across Africa, Asia, Europe, and Latin and North America. From idea to commercialization, IFDC is your one-stop shop for developing cutting-edge fertilizer and soil health technologies. Don't leave your idea on the back of a napkin. Let's make it a reality and change the world together. Since 1974, the International Fertilizer Development Center, IFDC, has researched, developed, and scaled sustainable agricultural solutions to end global hunger and poverty. As an independent expert in soil nutrient and input technologies, IFDC is uniquely positioned to take your next generation fertilizer, soil health, and agricultural technology ideas and make them a reality. From ideation to commercialization through project development, proof of concepts through lab and greenhouse trials, and product performance validation through field trials. Whether your idea is a sketch on the back of a napkin or an established process that needs improving, IFDC provides clients with support at every step. IFDC's scientists regularly perform fertilizer research processes and product development related to nutrient efficiency, balanced nutrition, soil health, and nutrient recycling. Our laboratories are equipped to develop and analyze a wide variety of agro inputs. Feasibility tests and nutrient content analysis provide a basis for the development of new products and quality control in the production process. A bench scale coating lab is equipped to conduct granulation and fluid bed coating research for slow and controlled release multi-nutrient fertilizers, while our analysis and quality control labs provide product evaluation, including important data on nutrient content for production facilities. When your idea is ready for production, we offer pilot plant and engineering services to test a product at scale. Our pilot plant complex, comprising 5 scales of fertilizer production plants, including phosphoric acid and granulation, can assist in testing the feasibility and scalability of any new fertilizer product. From physical properties testing to technical assistance during design, construction, and startup of fertilizer production plants, IFDC's engineering services ensure a comprehensive approach to developing your process or product. For larger projects, engineering staff can perform pre-feasibility or basic engineering studies for new or modified commercial processes and provide on-site troubleshooting and debottlenecking services with experienced staff. On-site training sessions for client, technical, and operations staff are also available. IFDC is the only independent, nonprofit expert that can take your product one step closer to commercialization through greenhouse and global field trials. Our 4 in-house greenhouse facilities allow to test the performance and quality of inputs from nutrient use efficiency to climate analysis. We have the capability of measuring nutrient losses by volatilization and leaching and greenhouse gas emissions in both greenhouse and field trials. With partnerships all over the world, IFDC has the exclusive ability to perform field trials under limitless growing conditions across Africa, Asia, Europe, and Latin and North America. From idea to commercialization, IFDC is your one-stop shop for developing cutting-edge fertilizer and soil health technologies. Don't leave your idea on the back of a napkin. Let's make it a reality and change the world together. Since 1974, the International Fertilizer Development Center, IFDC, has researched, developed, and scaled sustainable agricultural solutions to end global hunger and poverty. As an independent expert in soil nutrient and input technologies, IFDC is uniquely positioned to take your next generation fertilizer, soil health, and agricultural technology ideas and make them a reality. From ideation to commercialization through project development, proof of concepts through lab and greenhouse trials, and product performance validation through field trials. Whether your idea is a sketch on the back of a napkin or an established process that needs improving, IFDC provides clients with support at every step. IFDC's scientists regularly perform fertilizer research processes and product development related to nutrient efficiency, balanced nutrition, soil health, and nutrient recycling. Our laboratories are equipped to develop and analyze a wide variety of agro inputs. Feasibility tests and nutrient content analysis provide a basis for the development of new products and quality control in the production process. A bench scale coating lab is equipped to conduct granulation and fluid bed coating research for slow and controlled release multi-nutrient fertilizers, while our analysis and quality control labs provide product evaluation, including important data on nutrient content for production facilities. When your idea is ready for production, we offer pilot plant and engineering services to test a product at scale. Our pilot plant complex, comprising 5 scales of fertilizer production plants, including phosphoric acid and granulation, can assist in testing the feasibility and scalability of any new fertilizer product. From physical properties testing to technical assistance during design, construction, and startup of fertilizer production plants, IFDC's engineering services ensure a comprehensive approach to developing your process or product. For larger projects, engineering staff can perform pre-feasibility or basic engineering studies for new or modified commercial processes and provide on-site troubleshooting and debottlenecking services with experienced staff. On-site training sessions for client, technical, and operations staff are also available. IFDC is the only independent, nonprofit expert that can take your product one step closer to commercialization through greenhouse and global field trials. Our 4 in-house greenhouse facilities allow to test the performance and quality of inputs, from nutrient use efficiency to climate analysis. We have the capability of measuring nutrient losses by volatilization and leaching and greenhouse gas emissions in both greenhouse and field trials. With partnerships all over the world, IFDC has the exclusive ability to perform field trials under limitless growing conditions across Africa, Asia, Europe, and Latin and North America. From idea to commercialization, IFDC is your one-stop shop for developing cutting-edge fertilizer and soil health technologies. Don't leave your idea on the back of a napkin. Let's make it a reality and change the world together. Since 1974, the International Fertilizer Development Center, IFDC, has researched, developed, and scaled sustainable agricultural solutions to end global hunger and poverty. As an independent expert in soil nutrient and input technologies, IFDC is uniquely positioned to take your next generation fertilizer, soil health, and agricultural technology ideas and make them a reality. From ideation to commercialization through project development, proof of concepts through lab and greenhouse trials, and product performance validation through field trials. Whether your idea is a sketch on the back of a napkin or an established process that needs improving, IFDC provides clients with support at every step. IFDC's scientists regularly perform fertilizer research processes and product development related to nutrient efficiency, balanced nutrition, soil health, and nutrient recycling. Our laboratories are equipped to develop and analyze a wide variety of agro inputs. Feasibility tests and nutrient content analysis provide a basis for the development of new products and quality control in the production process. A bench-scale coating lab is equipped to conduct granulation and fluid bed coating research for slow and controlled release multi-nutrient fertilizers, while our analysis and quality control labs provide product evaluation, including important data on nutrient content for production facilities. When your idea is ready for production, we offer pilot plant and engineering services to test a product at scale. Our pilot plant complex, comprising 5 scales of fertilizer production plants, including phosphoric acid and granulation, can assist in testing the feasibility and scalability of any new fertilizer product. From physical properties testing to technical assistance during design, construction, and startup of fertilizer production plants, IFDC's engineering services ensure a comprehensive approach to developing your process or product. For larger projects, engineering staff can perform pre-feasibility or basic engineering studies for new or modified commercial processes and provide on-site troubleshooting and debottlenecking services with experienced staff. On-site training sessions for client, technical, and operations staff are also available. IFDC is the only independent, nonprofit expert that can take your product one step closer to commercialization through greenhouse and global field trials. Our 4 in-house greenhouse facilities allow to test the performance and quality of inputs from nutrient use efficiency to climate analysis. We have the capability of measuring nutrient losses by volatilization and leaching and greenhouse gas emissions in both greenhouse and field trials. With partnerships all over the world, IFDC has the exclusive ability to perform field trials under limitless growing conditions across Africa, Asia, Europe, and Latin and North America. From idea to commercialization, IFDC is your one-stop shop for developing cutting-edge fertilizer and soil health technologies. Don't leave your idea on the back of a napkin. Let's make it a reality and change the world together. Since 1974, the International Fertilizer Development Center, IFDC, has researched, developed, and scaled sustainable agricultural solutions to end global hunger and poverty. As an independent expert in soil nutrient and input technologies, IFDC is uniquely positioned to take your next generation fertilizer, soil health, and agricultural technology ideas and make them a reality. From ideation to commercialization through project development, proof of concepts through lab and greenhouse trials, and product performance validation through field trials. Whether your idea is a sketch on the back of a napkin or an established process that needs improving, IFDC provides clients with support at every step. IFDC's scientists regularly perform fertilizer research processes and product development related to nutrient efficiency, balanced nutrition, soil health, and nutrient recycling. Our laboratories are equipped to develop and analyze a wide variety of agro inputs. Feasibility tests and nutrient content analysis provide a basis for the development of new products and quality control in the production process. A bench scale coating lab is equipped to conduct granulation and fluid bed coating research for slow and controlled release multi-nutrient fertilizers, while our analysis and quality control labs provide product evaluation, including important data on nutrient content for production facilities. When your idea is ready for production, we offer pilot plant and engineering services to test a product at scale. Our pilot plant complex, comprising 5 scales of fertilizer production plants, including phosphoric acid and granulation, can assist in testing the feasibility and scalability of any new fertilizer product. From physical properties testing to technical assistance during design, construction, and startup of fertilizer production plants, IFDC's engineering services ensure a comprehensive approach to developing your process or product. For larger projects, engineering staff can perform pre-feasibility or basic engineering studies for new or modified commercial processes and provide on-site troubleshooting and debottlenecking services with experienced staff. On-site training sessions for client, technical, and operations staff are also available. IFDC is the only independent, nonprofit expert that can take your product one step closer to commercialization through greenhouse and global field trials. Our 4 in-house greenhouse facilities allow to test the performance and quality of inputs from nutrient use efficiency to climate analysis. We have the capability of measuring nutrient losses by volatilization and leaching and greenhouse gas emissions in both greenhouse and field trials. With partnerships all over the world, IFDC has the exclusive ability to perform field trials under limitless growing conditions across Africa, Asia, Europe, and Latin and North America. From idea to commercialization, IFDC is your one-stop shop for developing cutting-edge fertilizer and soil health technologies. Don't leave your idea on the back of a napkin. Let's make it a reality and change the world together. Since 1974, the International Fertilizer Development Center, IFDC, has researched, developed, and scaled sustainable agricultural solutions to end global hunger and poverty. As an independent expert in soil nutrient and input technologies, IFDC is uniquely positioned to take your next generation fertilizer, soil health, and agricultural technology ideas and make them a reality. From ideation to commercialization through project development, proof of concepts through lab and greenhouse trials, and product performance validation through field trials. Whether your idea is a sketch on the back of a napkin or an established process that needs improving, IFDC provides clients with support at every step. IFDC's scientists regularly perform fertilizer research processes and product development related to nutrient efficiency, balanced nutrition, soil health, and nutrient recycling. Our laboratories are equipped to develop and analyze a wide variety of agro inputs. Feasibility tests and nutrient content analysis provide a basis for the development of new products and quality control in the production process. A bench-scale coating lab is equipped to conduct granulation and fluid bed coating research for slow and controlled release multi-nutrient fertilizers, while our analysis and quality control labs provide product evaluation, including important data on nutrient content for production facilities. When your idea is ready for production, we offer pilot plant and engineering services to test the product at scale. Our pilot plant complex, comprising 5 scales of fertilizer production plants, including phosphoric acid and granulation, can assist in testing the feasibility and scalability of any new fertilizer product. From physical properties testing to technical assistance during design, construction, and startup of fertilizer production plants.
Hello everyone. Welcome back to this session. We will not keep you very long. Please take your seats so that we can guide you on the next steps that we are going to go. Can show by you share with us. From what we heard from Bridget, from what we heard from all the other speakers, something transformational that from today you can say, I did not know this, now I know it, and my life is better for it. Shall I volunteer myself? Or someone wants to volunteer? As someone who said that Africa does not have a food problem. We have a storage problem, we have a marketing problem, we have a transportation problem, and those are the things that we should focus on changing. That's one of the things I've learned today. But I'm sure each one of us in this place today has learned a lot. But because we are talking about agriculture, now it's time for us to hear from a farmer. We have Tabitha Githirega from Nyandarua County. Tabitha, please come and share with us for the next 10 minutes how all things we've talked about. We've talked about policy, we've talked about seeds, we've even mentioned soils, we've talked about the county government, we've talked about the national government. What do the farmers think? Have the farmers benefited? You know, what opportunities have helped farmers? What challenges? And even looking forward, if we hold this meeting with these same people today, how will farmers have evolved by then? You may answer those or some of those questions. Thank you, Tabitha. You have 10 minutes.
Good enough, a story to tell, and I'll tell it believe-free. I joined IFDC as just a small farmer, that is back 2019, whereby our ward agricultural officer assisted with the assistant chief, formed a group of farmer field business school. And because I was just a small scale farmer of potato, I was encouraged by other farmers to join the group. By then, I didn't have so much interest with it, so I was just going for the sake of killing time. And by then, we started by land preparation, how to do soil test, and do the land preparation. During those sessions I was in, and up to an extent where we went to planting the seed. After planting, I just dismissed the group because I didn't see the importance of it. But back at home, just being a small-scale farmer, we were doing farming together with my husband. And so I thought of doing what the Ward Agriculture Officer did explain to us. And since we were doing planting for a quarter an acre, I asked for my husband to assist me and give me a piece of land. You can imagine, in a quarter of an acre, I was given just 5 lines. And I was told, I think what you have learned with the agriculture officer, you are going to do it with him wherever you are with. So it didn't kill my heart. We did it, and it was a good learning lessons, and that was the beginning of my journey. So we started with the 5 lines in a quarter of an acre. The rest of the land we did as usual. At the end of the day, that's where we started the changing journey. The produce had a very huge difference. And so, the next planting season, my husband adopted my technology where we did the surface planting, and by then, already the seed that we were given by the IFDC, we had the green seed. So we were in position to buy the ware from the group, and so we did it, and we did a comparison between the seed we had, the old seed, and now the green seed we were given by IFDC. So with the comparison, and now the green seed we did with the surface planting method. Accidentally, the rain was so high in the area. So the rest of the potatoes, including mine, they were all spoiled with water, except the surface planting potato. That was the key that made our community start now thinking the importance of the learning from the World Agriculture Officer, because they used to ask me, what did you do to your potato? Because now they have the difference. So we started there. We started doing the ware together with my husband. And after some year, that was back 2020, I was taken by IFDC to be the lead farmer, and I was trained, and I started now forming the group near my home so that we can do what I was taught to do. After that, we were what do we call it? IFDC come up with the contract farming, and they were explained to us which was a very new word to us. Contract, it was a very new word to us, and this time IFDC came with the serene fries, whereby we were contracted to do monkeys and Dutch robin for the crepes. I was the first farmer to do it. It changed our lives in the family. We did it together with the serene fries for almost 2 years. Later on, we started doing shangi, where without the help of IFDC, but with the knowledge that IFDC give it to us, we were able to have another contract with the Red Gate, and together with the Red Gate, we had even the contract farming with the Sereni Fries. Now, not only the one group that our Ward Agricultural Officer formed, but now together with the other groups that personally I formed, which were 3 groups. So we did the contract farming, but later on, that is back 2023, we got a charge of seeds. I know everybody knew that 2023, there was a charge of seed. For me, it was a huge challenge because I had just hired a RAD to do now to enlarge my farming. But later on, after sitting down and having a lot of thought, I took it on a positive way. So with the help of our agricultural officer, we went to our government, and I remember Mr. Mukunya advised me to take the 2 crates for the apical cuttings for Shangi to do a demo with them so that we can know how we are going to continue with it. That was 2023, I think September. So it was almost to the end of the year. So after doing with the 2 crates of apical cuttings for Shangi, what I produced, we were able to plant it as a pre-basics in almost an eighth of a rad. After there, we went to the basics in a quarter, and right now we are almost to harvest a half an acre of the C1 seed, which I think by March 15th, it will be okay. That was not the end, because after doing the apical cuttings, there were neighbors, the youth neighbors, who were interested with that. We formed the group, and now the youth are interested in doing it. They have taken their first apical cutting that are 8 trays. We have already planted with them, with the assistants, though they are from the different ward, but the neighboring ward. And they are doing good. So they got interested, and due to the problem, we are there in between to bridge the gap of the seed. From there, last year, I was able to have a demo with CIP. They give me the Shangi and Wajiko seed. From there, we realized that Wajiko is producing more better than Shangi. Still, Wajiko, when we come to the late and the right brightness, Wajiko is not so much affected. And so late last year, that was on October, I went for Wajiko apical cuttings. Now 4 crates. I was able to harvest last week. So I think the produce I produce, I'll take it to almost a quarter an acre for Wajiko. And still, for Wajiko, you can keep it for a longer time compared to Shangi. These have made other farmers to be interested with Wajiko, though we don't have the seed, but together with the youth group, I know very soon we are going to bridge that gap. After all this, IFDC did not left us there. We went further in nutrition part of it, which have helped me a lot. I learned how to cook viazi chapati, crepes, stir fry, and these have been so good for my neighboring women. These days we usually say in our neighbor, we don't just eat mawaru. We are cooking something delicious to make our family healthy. And this have been taken positively by the Ministry of Health. And so I have groups of women. Now I'm almost in the 8th group. Dealing with the young women, we are saying it is dealing with the young women, teaching them how to make our potato delicious, and in addition, even doing yogurt to add value in our body. So for me, I can just say thank you to the Irish. Still, I can say thank you to the IFDC for this far. Thank you for the government of Nyandarua, because if it were not you, we could not have gone this far. And really, if you come across where I came from, if you want to know where my home is, or you want to know where I am, even the young child, you just ask them, where is Tabitha wa Wakulima? They nicknamed me that, and I appreciate that so much. So thank you, everybody, and I appreciate that.
Thank you very much, Tabitha. Your story is very, very inspirational. We are really glad that you could make time to meet with us and share your story with us. Now, what am I holding in my hand? Please raise up yours. If you don't have a badge, or if you had not registered, please, when we're showing the next video, sneak out for 1 minute and make sure you pick yours at the registration, and also share with us your email so that we can be able to connect with you even after this event. Up next, the media team is going to share with us a video that has been prepared that showcases the work of the PCB project. Tells you what the project is, what was done, how it achieved, nicely put together in a very short video for us. Media team, if you're ready, please proceed. While the video is showing, as I said, sneak out and get yourself registered out there. Thanks.
In the heart of Nyandarua County, smallholder farmers are reshaping their futures through the Potato Value Chain Capacity Building Project, PCB, a collaboration between the Embassy of Ireland and International Fertilizer Development Centre, IFDC. This initiative is dedicated to fostering sustainable agricultural practices.
The project has been in implementation since 2018 to date, and we are currently phasing it out, but with a lot of impact to the farmer beneficiaries, the stakeholders along the potato value chain, and indeed it has transformed and improved the livelihood of farmers.
From the outcomes of this project, which aimed at reducing post-harvest losses for small-scale farmers in 5 counties in Kenya, we noticed the need to upscale, and we noticed the opportunities for alignment of this project.
At the core of productivity is quality seed. Through focused training, farmers have mastered advanced seed production techniques, resulting in healthier, more robust crops.
One of the key things we aimed to is to bridge the gap in availability of certified potato seeds. As you are aware, in Kenya, we have a shortfall of around 18,000 metric tons of potatoes every year. So this project aimed to bridge that gap by providing that.
So we have worked closely with AFA, we have worked closely with CALDRO, and we have worked closely with other regulatory bodies, inclusive of NPCK, who plays a very key role in the potato industry.
By forming cooperatives, farmers are strengthening their collective bargaining power, boosting incomes, and improving their market access, protecting them from exploitation and enabling better prices.
One of the opportunities that we create for farmers is We have a platform called Viazi Soko, which farmers can access quality inputs, access quality seeds, access also agrochemicals. And this platform is an e-commerce platform, which also offers extension and advisory services to the farmers.
The IFDC has also partnered with farmers to reduce post-harvest losses by constructing modern storage facilities.
We established about 15 storage facilities, ambient facilities across the country, Kenya, and 5 of them were in Nyandarua County. So, and out of that, the lesson learned is that the produce would not stay long as expected in the storage facility because of the pre-handling, as the crop is in the farm during harvesting and post-harvest handling.
Before, the farmers used to store the potatoes using sacks. The potatoes would sprout even in a month, but after having the new storage, the potato can stay in the room for almost 6 to 10 months without shrinking, without drying, or if it's sorted well, the potato can stay for 10 months.
With proper handling and storage techniques, these losses are minimized, ensuring that every harvest translates into greater profit. The PCB project is not just about immediate gains. It lays the foundation for sustainable agriculture, collaborating with county governments to ensure long-term empowerment for farmers.
The sustaining of gains in the potato value chain is not an embassy or IFDC only affair. It's really, as you've seen, the project has brought together the key players. As we speak, the county is engaging with over 16 chief executive officers at county level to participate in a dialogue, especially as regards policies in this sector. And those, I think, are the key contributors towards sustainability, having the correct policy framework.
CALRO provides CALRO backstops, mostly with the county government. We train some of those ward agricultural officers and sub-county agricultural officers on the different management practices in potato production. We also provide short courses to some of the farmers, especially those who want to involve themselves in seed production. They are invited at the center.
The objectives of this project has been to be able to link our farmers with market, which has really been a success. So I would say, in terms of meeting the objectives, this collaboration has actually been able to meet these objectives, and we are grateful. We've had very good relations with these our partners, IFDC and the Irish Embassy.
Inclusivity is at the heart of this transformation. The project has empowered both women and youth, fostering change not only on the farms but within the entire community.
Kwa ile njia ya FDC walitusaidia ni wakati tunalima, tunaanza na bidhaa poa, mbegu tunapanda ile mzuri. At least hata mnunuzi mwenyewe akiona bidhaa yenye unamuuzia inamfanya, inamvutia kabisa, na kuja anaweza kununua hiyo bidhaa yako.
Kama sio IFDC, in fact sisi hatukuwa tunajua ukulima wa viazi. Wamekuja wametupeleka step by step. Wakifanya demonstration, tunakuja tunafanya nyumbani. So, ukiona hivi vyenye tumefanya kwa shamba, ni vile tunafanyanga kwa group. Cause tukifanya kwa group, tunaileta kwa shamba.
Before tufunzwe mambo ya post harvesting na IFDC, tulikuwa tu tuna harvest viazi wakati wowote ule. But sasa tulifunzwa before we harvest, we usually dehome our viazi ili ziwe ile gozi yake iwe gumu, na hiyo inazuia viazi mingi kuharibika. Then wakati tunavuna, jembe zenye tulikuwa tunatumia saa hii sio zenye tunatumia. Likewise, kuna wakati wa kuvuna enyewe si wakati kuna jua mingi, na pia zile viazi hatuziweki kwa jua direct.
As the youth and women of Nyandarua County continue to thrive, we believe this impactful project has the potential to go far and beyond. Thank you for joining us on this journey.
Patrick and Jocelyn were the project managers of that project in the time that it has been. So thank you very much. We now invite Dr. Caroline Agamala, who will give us some closing remarks and also give a vote of thanks. While she comes, have you got a lunch voucher? If you haven't, Joy can assist. Please raise your hand to her and she'll assist.
Thank you, Solomon. Good afternoon. I think when we are getting closer to the end, we kind of get a little bit tired. But mine is just to appreciate everyone for creating time to be here. And personally, I wouldn't want to call this a closeout session, but I think we are becoming bigger, we are expanding, and we're just moving to a bigger room. So from Nyandarua, we want to expand to all the counties that we have in Kenya. And I appreciate so much what the Embassy of Ireland has done for us together with the partners that we've had in Nyandarua. And when I stand here, I'm just happy that Bridget and Veril, they're sandwiching Dr. Demo from the International Potato Center, because we cannot talk about potatoes without SIP. So please, make sure you squeeze him so that in that bigger room, he's part and parcel of these bigger things that we really want to see. So we've seen a lot of the positive impact that we've seen in Nyandarua. And something that has just touched me from Tabitha's story is you educate or you empower a woman, you change a community. She said her husband gave her 5 lines from their farm, but she did not give up. She kept on and on until the husband had to change. To me, that is a very successful story, and that is where we want to see, because you do it with women, then the whole community and the whole country has that positive impact. Thank you so much, Tabitha, because this project wouldn't succeed without the people of Nyandarua, without the farmers of Nyandarua accepting to be part and parcel of this. So thank you so much for everyone who has been part of this journey. Calro, the National Potato Council, I'm seeing Agra is here. I know you are going to be part of that bigger room, so there is a lot of space for you. And everyone who contributed to it. Of course, I cannot forget the Ireland people, because without them, then this thing wouldn't have worked. The county government of Nyandarua, we want to come from where I come from to come and learn in Nyandarua, so that we also replicate that, what is done in Nyandarua to what is done in other places. So thank you so much. And he mentioned something about having the youth. And I think from where we are sitting, we are already seeing where we want to expand. Involvement of youth, the issues of precision agriculture, machine learning, artificial intelligence, those are the things we want to see. Because we just want to see the youth sitting somewhere and they're able to tap buttons and detect what is happening in the warehouse. What information is there? How can KEFIs, when they're doing all those inspections, do they really have to go and walk in a 100-acre piece of land? Why can't they just send something to go and collect information and bring to them? So we want to see the youth coming in very strongly, and I know it's very possible because technology is where we really need to go. In terms of nutrient management, Dr. Kamau is here. He's in charge of natural resource management. Soil health issues. How do we get to know that this nutrient is limiting in a certain place? Those are the issues that we want to see. So how can we bring the youth on board with all these technologies, because the world is really changing. We don't want to be going to move from one farm to another to get this information. We just want to be tapping on a keyboard somewhere or keying in some information somewhere, and we get all these things done at the fingertips. So thank you so much for creating time to be here. Issues of diversification. She talked about viazi chapati. I would really wish to taste that. Those are the things we want to see people coming up to take. Starch production, we want to see a circular economy so that even that peel from the potato is not going to waste. How can we do all that so that whatever we are getting, we are still recycling it and going back? The green energy, how sustainable is the use of electricity? How can we maybe change, shift, and do biogas from the use of those pills? So those are the things that I want us to reflect on even as we are getting bigger and expanding. And it's true, I'm seeing this room has become bigger, Bridget and Veril. So Ireland, please get bigger people. Expand the hand a bit, make it bigger. We want to see more donors coming in so that when we are going to do this, what we've done in Nyandarua, in the rest of the counties, maybe another 45, because I know probably in Nairobi we might not be able to do that. All those 45 countries, you are doing it at a go so that this potato project becomes the game changer in our country. We are all running away from wheat. We can make potato bread. We can make potato cake. Those are the things we really, really want to see. Issues of microfinance. I wish we had seen people from the financial institutions here because that's another issue. We need to see people who are funding these farmers. They may be smallholder, but when they are in groups, they need the funding to help them move in their cooperatives. Those are the people we really need to bring on board. And I'm glad that we have people from the Ministry of Agriculture here. So these are the issues we need to sit on another round table and see how do we move from this position to the next bigger and much bigger level. I don't want to take so much of your lunch time, but mine is just to appreciate you for creating time to be here. The CGA is here. Who else did I say? World Vision is here. Paul, Patrick, we want to see you come and continue working with us. Everybody in this room, let us continue working together because there is a lot of opportunity ahead of us. The opportunities are very, very massive. And if we cannot work together, then we cannot make it. We all agree that it is in partnerships that we can move. So can we hold each other's hand, even as we move this potato project to a bigger version of it, and we will all appreciate. Otherwise, thank you so much. I want to wish you a very enjoyable afternoon, Tuesday afternoon, and even as you travel to go back from wherever you came from, I want to wish you God's blessings. And I know this is the beginning of bigger meetings. It is not the end, so I will not call it a close-out session. To me, we are not closing. We are just moving to a bigger room. So that bigger room, I think there's a table and a seat for everyone. Feel most welcome. Thank you so much, Bridget, and everybody who put this together, Joy and your team, Caroline, all my colleagues from IFDC. Thank you so much for being a part of this journey. We appreciate you so much, and I hope to be seeing you quite often. Asanteni sana.
Thank you very much, Daktari. Can we request all IFDC staff to just stand up, including former IFDC staff, so that we can see them, and so that we can also clap for them? Should we ask them to come up here and dance for us? Asanteni sana, let's clap for them. Your MC today has been Solomon Mwangi. He's available to MC at weddings and roller shows. Let us know who you came with.
Thank you so much. Really not introducing them, but at least to appreciate them, I would like them to stand up. The people from Nyandarua County, it's a big team. Yes, we have our chief officer in charge of agriculture, the director there, the deputy director, in charge of communications there, the communications team, the director in charge of communications. So it's a big team, and thank you so much for giving us this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bwana CEC. I think the people have said that you should come here so that you dance for us one song. As we, they've said it's not a closeout, is it? No. we are moving to a bigger room. So the DJ has prepared a very nice song, and I know it's ready. So as we end the meeting today, as we prepare for the next one, we need some dancers in front of us. Verid, are you volunteering with your table to begin the dance for us?